So we do that. What people don't realize is that with this power of enclothed cognition, by you putting on something, you're actually changing at an unconscious level the way that you're about to go and act. She did this great little study with 4 to 6 year old kids where they brought them into this room, and there was this kind of puzzle with a whole bunch of padlocks on it. And they gave all the kids this ring of keys to unlock all the padlocks, okay? But they divided them up into groups of 3. And one group, they were just in their plain clothes and given the keys. And then another group, they were told to pretend like their favorite superhero or someone that they look up to, favorite superhero. So then they do it. And then another group, they brought in a rack of clothing, and there was Batman and Dora the Explorer costumes. And they said, put on the costume, and then here's the keys, and let's go on with those costumes. Fascinating what happened. The kids that were just in their plain clothes quit on the task of opening all the padlocks because the keys that they had didn't open any of the locks. It was a red herring. They just wanted to see with frustration how long they were going to last. So they quit the first. They were the first ones to quit. So what's that measuring? Grit and perseverance. 2 things that, you know, we all talk about all the time of just what it takes in order to achieve something.
Right.
Because you're going to need it. Now, the young kids that pretended to be Batman or whatever their favorite superhero was, they lasted longer, but they didn't last as long as the kids who had on the costume or the uniform.
Oh, interesting.
But here's the other side effect of it. They weren't expecting to be tracking self-talk. So how kids were talking about them, because young kids, if you're around them, they don't just keep the thoughts in their head. They're talking it out loud. It's like when they meet someone who's chubby, or they're like, oh, why is he so fat? Like, it's just, you know, you're like, oh, it's just, please just, you know, have some social decorum. So the young kids that were just in their plain clothes would say like, oh, I'm not good at puzzles, or I can't get this, I quit. Okay. So I can't get this, I quit. I'm not good at puzzles. Kids who were wearing the uniform though, they would say things like, Batman wouldn't quit, so I'm not going to quit. Dora the Explorer always finds a way, so I'm going to find a way. Right? They had now disassociated from whatever their own identity was. And they started acting through these other traits of Dora, of Batman. That's kind of like me sort of putting together the pieces for everyone around why using a totem, an artifact, some sort of object is so important to help you activate those traits from the person or the thing that you're most inspired by. I want you to have an emotional connection with this new identity.
How is this not pretending?
Because pretending is just the word alone has the sort of intention or the thinking of concerning yourself with the thoughts, opinions, and judgments of other people. Screw them. Like, it doesn't.
So it's not necessarily a change in affectation, but it's a change in the way that you think about it.
It's the way that you change the way, because anytime you're trying to do something to deceive or trick other people, that isn't a healthy way to be operating from, because what it ends up doing is it traps you, because that's not the healthy way that you want to build your identity. But even in the book, I talk about the difference in chapter 3. I talk about the difference between that outside in approach, which is you trying to do things for other people, trying to impress other people, worried about what other people are thinking about you. So then you don't do the thing anymore. Concerned with, you know, what if everyone sees this crappy video that I've just done and, you know, they judge me as being, you know, a loser on video or whatever. A great piece of research. So there's a psychological phenomenon that we've got called enclothed cognition. Enclothed cognition is that we as human beings, we attach meaning and story to the clothing that other people wear or that we wear. So, case in point.
Go on.
Yes. So, if someone were to walk into this room with us right now and they had on a doctor's coat or a lab coat, immediately at an unconscious level, you're going to make a whole bunch of assumptions and tell a story about that person.
No question.
Right? So it could be that they're successful. And again, everyone's different because all of us have had different experiences with people in white coats. But for the most part, if it was a doctor's coat, it's that they're successful or they're smart, they're detailed, and so on. So we do that. What people don't realize is that with this power of enclothed cognition, by you putting on something, you're actually changing at an unconscious level the way that you're about to go and act.
오늘도 성공 비밀을 씹어먹을 준비가 되셨나요? 이렇게 동기부여 모닝콜 필사에 참여하시는 여러분은 이미 성공한 사람이나 다름없습니다. 한글 5번, 영어 5번입니다. 시작합니다. 나는 내가 원하는 모습을 생각하고 그에 맞게 행동할 것입니다.
I will think about what I want and act accordingly.
나는 내가 원하는 모습을 생각하고 그에 맞게 행동할 것입니다.
I will think about what I want and act accordingly.
나는 내가 원하는 모습을 생각하고 그에 맞게 행동할 것입니다.
I will think about what I want and act accordingly.
나는 내가 원하는 모습을 생각하고 그에 맞게 행동할 것입니다.
I will think about what I want and act accordingly.
나는 내가 원하는 모습을 생각하고 그에 맞게 행동할 것입니다.
I will think about what I want and act accordingly.
실패가 두려우신가요? 어떤 상황 속에서도 할 수 있다고 믿으세요. 성공의 열쇠 웰싱킹과 세계 최고의 성공 비밀을 당신의 것으로 만드세요. He can do, she can do, why not me? 좋아요, 구독, 알림 설정은 필수입니다. 지금 당장 이 영상을 주변에 알려서 함께 해보세요. 함께 가면 더 멀리 갈 수 있습니다. 좋아요, 구독, 알림 설정은 이 모닝콜을 함께 제작하는 20명이 넘는 재능 기부자들과 켈리에게 큰 힘을 줍니다. 사랑합니다.